Do you ever feel like you're just battling the chaos of modern life and frankly losing? Well, today we're going to talk about a 2,000-year-old philosophy that's kind of like mental armor for today's world. It's called Stoicism. Seriously, think about it. When was the last time a plan just completely fell apart? Or someone ghosted you? Or, life just decided to not cooperate and you felt totally powerless to fix it? Yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you that the problem isn't life? The source of all that frustration, all that anxiety, it's not actually the things that are happening to you. Nope. The real problem is what you try to control. It's that feeling of grasping for things that were never, ever in your hands to begin with. And let me tell you, getting this one insight, it can change everything. And you know what? This is not a new problem. People have been dealing with this stuff for ages. The solution we're talking about was actually hammered out over 2,000 years ago by people like the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Think of it less as a dusty old philosophy and more like an operating system for the modern mind, designed to make you mentally unbreakable. Let's dig into this toolkit. So what exactly is Stoicism? Forget what you might think. It is not some abstract academic theory. It's a way of living. It's a very practical guide that teaches you how to stay calm when everything is chaos, how to think clearly under pressure, and how to stay strong when it feels like your world is falling apart. Honestly, in today's world, it's less of a philosophy and more of a critical life skill. All right, let's jump into the first and maybe the most important principle. This is the absolute bedrock of Stoicism, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that if you really truly get this one idea, it can change your entire mindset, like almost overnight. Okay, so here's the core idea. The Stoics called it the dichotomy of control. It's super simple. They basically said the entire world can be split into two buckets. In one bucket, you have everything you can't control. Think about it. Other people's opinions of you, anything that happened in the past, the final outcome of pretty much anything, all out of your hands. But in the other bucket, you have what you can control, and that is your thoughts, your effort, and your reactions. That's it. So the big Stoic question is always, which bucket are you putting your energy into? And this simple shift in focus is a total game changer. You stop asking, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And instead, you start asking, okay, what can I do right now? You're not wasting all that energy on what ifs anymore. You're grounding yourself in the what now. And by focusing only on your next immediate controllable action, you literally take the power back. So much daily stress just evaporates. Okay, so once you've figured out where to put your energy, the next piece of the puzzle is learning how to manage that internal world of yours. We're talking about your mindset, your emotions, and what you choose to do next. This all comes down to acceptance. And let's get one thing straight. Acceptance is not weakness. It's not about giving up. It's about seeing things clearly. So instead of the common reaction, why is this happening to me? The Stoic response is simple. Okay, this is happening. Now what? You stop wasting precious energy fighting reality, and you immediately pivot to solving the problem. That's where all your power is. Which brings us to a super practical tool for this, something called the Stoic pause. Think about it. For most of us, something happens, a trigger, and we just react instantly, bam. But Stoicism teaches you to create a tiny bit of space, a pause, between that trigger and your response. So first the trigger hits, then you pause. In that moment, you question it. You ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is my initial reaction the right one? And only then you choose how to respond. It's not about not feeling things. You still feel everything. The difference is the feeling no longer controls you. We live in a world that is completely obsessed with outcomes, right? Getting the grade, getting the promotion, getting the followers. But here's the thing. Focusing only on the outcome, which, remember, you can't control, is a recipe for anxiety. It just feels like constant pressure. The Stoic move is to shift your focus to the action, to the effort. That's the one thing you actually can control. And when you do that, the experience completely changes. Suddenly a task like studying for a test doesn't feel like pressure anymore. It feels like growth. All right, this next idea, it might sound a little heavy at first, but stick with me because it is one of the most powerful motivators in the entire Stoic toolkit. They called it memento mori. It's Latin for, remember, you will die. But instead of being something to fear, the Stoics use this truth as a tool for incredible clarity. See, when you really truly grasp that your time is limited, all the small stuff just melts away. You stop wasting time on petty problems. You stop caring about useless opinions. All those minor setbacks, they lose their sting. It forces you to ask the big question, is this really how I want to spend the time I have? It's not about being morbid. It's about being motivated to live a life that actually matters right now. So you're probably thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but how do I actually start? Well, the beautiful thing about Stoicism is that it is not about becoming a perfect, emotionless robot overnight. Not at all. It's a practice. It's about being a little more aware each day. And it starts with just one simple step. That's right. It all boils down to the number one. Just one idea, one action, for one day. So here's your task, if you're up for it. It's super simple. Don't try to become Marcus Aurelius in a day. Just pick one principle we've talked about. Maybe it's focusing on your circle of control. Maybe it's trying out that stoic pause. Whatever it is, just focus on that one thing for the next 24 hours. That's it. And just see what happens. So, what's it going to be? Which principle will you choose? And maybe more importantly, what could actually change for you if you made that shift from just reacting to everything the world throws at you to responding with real intention? Your journey to becoming more unbreakable, more resilient, it can start right now with that one simple choice.